Hey, everybody, welcome to Open for Business. And boy, do I have a good show for you today, especially if you are a wine connoisseur. And I have got Charles here from the Broken Horseshoe Vineyard and Winery. And you are a new business right underneath. Now, the vineyard's been around for a while, correct?
Oh, yeah, the vineyard's been around. I planted my first vines in 2016. And
Wow.
And finally opened up for business on July the 15th of 23.
So I was going to ask you that. So real quick, so you own you own a vineyard,
Yes.
you own a winery, right?
Mhm.
You make all your own wine in your winery downstairs.
Yes.
Which, if anybody knows me, I don't like wine until I met Charles,
I converted him.
and he converted me. He's got so. I guess I'm a little. I was talking to a friend of mine. He goes, "You're a little foo-foo because you don't like the dries and the stuff like that." I'm like,
Mhm.
"No, because it just doesn't." But I like the sweets. And you have this berry. Actually, you have several of the sweets that I really like, but the berry one is my favorite. But my question to you is: so when you started, it took how many years before you could actually produce wine?
Well, it's sort of funny you asked it that way. My biggest problem is getting through government hurdles, and a lot of it was local government hurdles.
Of course.
And I mean, just remember, I'm the government. I'm here to help you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they helped me all right.
Yeah, I'm here to help you. Give me
Yeah.
some money.
Exactly. Well, that's all they did. They had their hands out.
Right.
They never earned anything.
But maturity wise, I mean, you just can't. So
No.
okay, just for instance, if I
Mhm.
go and buy myself some grapes, right,
Mhm.
and I'll go plant them, I'm not going to get grapes in a year.
No, the best. Well, that is
Oh,
true to a
wow.
point.
Okay, okay.
Because I planted some Saval Blanc 2 years ago, and I'll be danged if I didn't get a good crop off of it the first year. I could not
What?
believe it, but my ground was really fertile. I mean, when I set all this
okay.
up, I mean, it was
You
really
so
jacked up.
it's
So,
planning,
Yes.
right? It's not like but again, like for someone like me, if I'm just going to grow me some grapes and get some wine, that's not going to happen, because it takes, if your soil's not prepped properly,
Right.
right? So uh, now tell us about the wines that you actually produce.
okay, most of the wines I produce here on my site, the vineyard, uh, was let's go ahead and just name them off. I think that'd be the best.
There you go.
Okay, our Chamberson, that's one of my heavy hitters there. This past year, we ended up getting 2 tons of grapes off it.
Wow.
But I had to go back and retrain the vineyard or the trellises again because they got out of hand. And since I'm a one-man army most of the time,
right,
it takes time to do all this work.
gotcha.
So I had to really cut it back and get my cordon retrained to where, I could get a decent yield and have the actual wires hold it up anymore.
But 2 tons of grapes.
Yeah. Well, the year
That's
before
a
that,
lot of
I had
grapes.
over 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 6,000 or 4,000 pounds.
Yeah.
If you had 3, that's 6,000 pounds.
Mhm.
I just can't see you carrying 6,000 pounds.
Oh, no. I have to carry a little at a time.
Okay, so let's continue to name them.
Okay, and then we've got Norton. That's a grape that's been around for a good while. It's pretty plentiful, especially north of me, Virginia.
Okay.
Virginia, that's grown a lot, and the Chamberson.
Right?
I'm probably on the borderline, and really, I probably shouldn't be growing the Chamberson, but I like it, and I like the product it comes off of.
Yeah, it gives you a good product.
Yeah. And then another one we got. Oh, heck, let's go ahead and let's jump off board here with a white.
Okay.
You know what that one in front of you, you remember the name of it?
I do not.
Well, we call it Gator Got You Granny.
Gator got you, Granny.
Ain't that hilarious?
That is hilarious.
Well, it's made out of Granny Smith apples that, of course, I grew.
Right?
And my wife came up with that name.
That's awesome.
You ever heard the song Poke Salad Annie from Elvis?
I did.
Well, after that it says Gator Got You Granny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she likes Elvis, so she come up with that name, and I just always thought it's hilarious.
That is
Yeah.
So, I mean, did you start off in the white wines in the beginning? And
No,
went,
in the beginning,
no.
before the vineyard or anything else, I did fruit wines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Any kind of fruit you come up with, I'd try.
Really?
Yeah. I even had a person bring me 2 bushels of grapefruit once. They said, "Can you do something with this?" I said, "Sure, give me a little bit and I'll try it." It wasn't bad. I mean, it really
Wow.
wasn't, but it was different.
Okay, so I'm gonna get that. What is wine?
What is wine?
What is wine?
Anything that is fermentable or has fermentable sugars or product in it
Right.
to generate alcohol. That's probably about the
Oh, wait a minute.
easiest
Isn't that
thing.
moonshine too?
No, you got to get to point A before you can ever go to C.
Oh, I got
So
you.
you've got to generate the alcohol. All distilling is distilling. I mean, you're taking a product and you're vaporizing it,
Okay.
and you're turning around and concentrating it and making alcohol higher.
Wow.
Well, me, I just make it naturally.
You make it naturally. So let's talk about the fermenting process real
Mhm.
quick. So I have literally in my lifetime, I have probably done about 22,000 interviews.
Hmm.
Never talked to a wine guy.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Well, here's your first. Hopefully,
Yeah.
not the last.
Talk to moonshiners,
Oh,
but I'm not talking to a wine guy that
Mhm.
actually does it himself. I've had wine guys on that they sell it, but they don't really, and they can tell you the nose, the bouquet, the blue, the
let's see if
olive
they ever
finish.
told you this. Did they ever tell you? Remember the old cartoons and shows and stuff? You had the jug and it had 3 X's on it.
Yes,
Do you know what that meant?
it would kill you.
No, not necessarily.
Don't drink that stuff.
Well, back in the day, they had to concentrate that. Their alcohol was low to start off with. I mean, they're using mash and stuff, so their alcohol might just been 4% by their load. So what they would do is run that off 3 different times to get the alcohol up to that point they wanted.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
3
1X
different
was,
distills.
oh, okay. 1X was light alcohol, 2X's was medium alcohol, and 3X's will sit you in your seat.
Yeah, it'll set you on fire. Yeah.
Well, okay, I did not
Yeah.
know that. But back to what is wine?
What is wine?
What is wine?
Wine is, back again, it is a product that you were hoping, like, let's just say the grapes itself.
Yes.
Okay. Back in Roman days, it was made by accident, I believe. And somebody just put some grapes in probably a bucket or something. And all of a sudden it changed. And they thought, well, wait a minute, I like this.
Yeah.
So it growed from that.
Wow. All right.
It's just something that's been fermented.
So is that a, because you hear about aged wines and you hear about shelf and you about barrels, and so what is the typical from grape to bottle to serve? Is it 6
It's
months,
usually
1
about
year,
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably about the earliest, especially on red.
Oh, ooh. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So whites are a quick.
Whites, sometimes you can get them a little quicker, but it really depends on how much you want to age it, how much you want to oak it.
Oh, okay.
That's all factors in that.
Right.
I mean, you can ferment it, and in a week you can start drinking it. I ain't going to say it's going to be good for you.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, I mean, it ain't going to hurt you, but
right.
you're not going to get the effect out of it. 2 years will be.
Okay. So a good wine has typically been is it seasoned or soaked, or what's the actual terminology where it sits in the barreling?
Well, it's just age.
Age. Okay.
Yeah.
So it aged. So 2 years is a typical a good starting point.
Oh yeah.
And you have some wines that sit longer, age longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got, like that one Chamberson I've got on the table right now that we've won all these awards and stuff on. It was from 21.
Wow.
And
okay.
I've still got an abundance of it. See,
Oh.
I ain't even got into year 22 yet, bottle.
Wow.
It's still sitting in bulk.
I see. So I guess again, I don't know. So I know whiskeys and bourbons. They sit in these like barrel that we're sitting around right now, and sometimes those are on their racks for like
Oh yeah,
4 or 5 years, 20 years.
Well, most of your bourbons, what is it? Jack Daniel's 10 years.
10 years,
Yeah.
right? Now, do you have to do the same thing, and you have to turn?
No, not really, because there's a bun in it. The only thing you have to do on them barrels is just go in and top it off, because you'll get evaporation out of it. Your wood absorbs so much,
Yeah.
and then you might see some stains and stuff on it. That's where it's sort of leaking out, but it'll reseal itself. It just has to expand enough
Right.
to do that.
And that's that's in the gases and all that kind of stuff that's going on internally.
Yeah, well, it should be stable when you put it in there. It shouldn't be any kind of fermentation or anything else going on.
Okay, I got you. All right. Well, this is the first time I've got to sit down with a guy that actually makes the wine, not just sells it and go, oh, it's got a good nose, and that back of the palate. And I'm like, okay, and it was kind of funny. We were talking the other day where me and your I can't think of the guy's name that
Mike.
Mike. And we're like, you tell people that, you give them that little pour to, just kind of swirl, and kind of taste and smell and whole
Mhm.
9 yards. They'll do it. And they'll chug it, going, okay, you're just there for the high. That's you're
Yeah,
there for the
well, I mean,
buzz.
it's not a shot,
So
but people think it is.
okay. So why do people do that?
Well, to me, a wine should be savored. It should be enjoyed. It's not something, if you're looking to get drunk or whatever,
Tequila,
do something else. Yeah.
tequila. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Mad Dog 2020. Go get you a
I
bottle of
remember
it.
them days.
Ooh,
Believe you me. Ooh,
Yep.
No. I don't know. Like me, I like to have a good steak. I
Okay.
like to have a good glass of wine with it. And if you get both of them together,
Right.
you've got an excellent meal.
Right.
Yeah, because you savor both. Each one will complement each other. And that's the part I like about wine the best.
Oh.
Different cheeses.
Right.
I mean, my gosh, I've got a Gouda that's 10 years aged down in the store right now. Man, that's good.
Because you
wine.
guys, it's not just wine. You have the charcuterie.
Yeah, charcuterie.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's it. Yep, yeah.
Yeah, we make them up. Right now, we don't sell them or anything. We've been giving away what we've got.
Right.
But we're hoping once we get our food license in, we can
Mhm.
start making these and start selling it to the public. So,
Nice.
It'll be like a tray for 2 people or 4 people, maybe.
Okay. So let me ask you this. I know we're going to backtrack real quick. Do you give tours at the vineyard?
Oh, yeah.
So you allow people to come out. Do they get
I
to
love it.
do
that
they get to pick anything? And it's like,
Well, I try to get volunteers all the time to come out and help harvest.
well, actually, I got a picture of you got a good volunteer little staff going on there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like this whole line of people just picking some great grapes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so I'm trying to ask the right questions here because
Mhm.
I want to make sure so the purple grapes are these and green grapes are the white.
Yes.
Okay. But there's and you have something coming. I don't have how much time. I don't want to blow the whole thing here, but
No, we're going to go ahead and talk about that.
so I have to say, I've never in my life, and I've worked in a lot of bars,
Mhm.
right? And I've drank at a lot of bars. I have never seen people mix wines before,
Oh,
ever. I mean, I've never seen that.
you caught me doing that the other day.
And I'm like, well, wait a minute. What are you doing? And you have come up with a new brand,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, the new one I've got coming out, since we're in General Claiborne building, well, I thought, let's go ahead and promote that.
Okay.
It's a lot of the history of this area. He was one of the generals in the Confederate armies that he actually held back and beat Sherman at the Gap. And that was 161 years ago. And you know what day it was? The 27th of this month.
Ah,
So this wine, we just got label approval last week. So as soon as I get these printed, I'm hoping to have that on the shelf ASAP. And then on the 27th, we're going to have a celebration of that. We'll have somebody probably dressed up doing an enactment of General Claiborne and
right.
just come out and have fun with us. I mean, we want to really promote this and just put it out there. And another thing we was thinking of also that we'll probably do, we're wanting to give a donation to the Anderson Cemetery because, I mean, it needs to be kept up. The history needs to stay alive.
It does. And and to be honest with you, it looks a little rough right now.
It does. It
So
really
it
does.
needs a lot of help. And
Yeah.
and so, people don't realize the rich history that's right here in this area.
Oh,
So this studio that I'm in right now, we're in Ringo. We have multiple studios, but we're in Ringo, and I'm here more than I am anywhere else.
Mhm.
In Ringo, Georgia, I mean, everybody knows that Georgia's Civil War, a whole 9 yards. We're near Chattanooga, with the battlefield of Chattanooga. Then there's the battlefield of Lookout Mountain. The Lookout Mountain's got a battlefield up
Oh,
on
yes.
top of it, and we actually have battlefields here. And when you were mentioning the
Yes.
Gap, that's Ringo Gap. Am I
Mhm.
correct?
Yes.
So, and that's a big deal because we're near Tunnel Hill, which is actually a tunnel where not only do the supply trains go through, but it was the Underground Railroad, the whole 9 yards.
Oh,
So, so what are you going to call this new wine?
Well, funny you asked that. We're going to call this Emancipation.
Emancipation.
Yeah. And
And there's a whole story behind
yes, there
that.
is. There's a big story behind that. And I'd love to share it with you, but I think I'm going to wait a little bit.
I think we're going to wait a little bit.
Yeah, just to be on the safe
but it's
side,
going to be, but
it's going to be very interesting.
It is going to be very. I tell you again, I have never one time have I ever gone into a bar, a restaurant. I mean, a fine restaurant, and see them I mean, you guys have it down to a
Oh,
science
yes.
of exactly how much of one, how much of another, and this is going to be the new brand.
Yes.
So the big question, I guarantee that everybody at home is saying, going, okay, what made you wake up one day and go, you know what? I think I'm going to do wine. Because there's got to be a good story behind this.
Well, there's two actually.
Oh, let's hear them. I
One
want to
of
hear
them
about
I've
them.
never even mentioned. Now, back when I was a young lad, a kid, we'll say, well, my parents used to sell snowballs and stuff. Had a little truck and they went around.
The shaved.
ices.
Oh, okay.
And had cotton candy and all that. So there's not a flavor or any kind of profile out there. I've not had it one time.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, I couldn't have another one of them if I ever
Right.
lived to 100. I could not never drink another one of them.
Okay.
And then the second thing is, I mean, I like the chemistry of stuff. And what got me going on it or even thinking about it, I was in Murphy, North Carolina, me and my wife on vacation, and we seen a thing about a vineyard and a winery. And I thought, well, let's go try it and check it out. Well, there was a gentleman in there, and he was pretty much running the whole show. He had an acre of vines, and he made wine, and we actually liked it pretty well. And I thought, well, this guy's 85-year-old, and he's doing this. What? Well, we got a farm. Let's do something with it.
Right.
So we come back, and that's what started the whole ball.
Wow.
Getting it going. Yeah. I mean, it took time.
You talked to an old guy who was 85 years old, and if he could do it, you could do it.
That's the way I looked at it. I mean,
but that's, you know, and that's, I mean, it's not like, so have you always your whole life liked wine?
No, I have not.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's that little crook in the whole road right there. So you didn't, you know, it was like wine was not a thing.
No, because I'd been to wineries before, but I think back in the day they didn't. It's back like 20, Mad Dog 2020 and all that. Oh
God, yes.
I don't think anybody even cared. They just figured, well, they'll do what they can and just put it on the shelf. It didn't matter how it turned out.
Right.
And the few wineries I went prior to that and went to, they was bad. I'll never call them out by name, but I mean, they was horrible.
Really?
Yes.
Because I think maybe this has kind of changed my perspective on wine. Is, you know, now we'll go and just, even if it's just to look and kind of get the experience of going to wineries, because I don't drink them until now. Now I mean, I've literally got a cold bottle over there that's sitting in my fridge. So
I remember you getting that one.
When Austin gets all up, gets all cranky and stuff, I'm just going to go pour. Even he, he's not a wine guy either, and he goes, "This has been pretty good." Yeah. I'm like, so, and you can.
Well, it's back again. I mean, I don't want to put a bad wine out.
No.
I mean, if it can't get past me, it ain't going nowhere. I mean, we'll.
So it's got to taste good to you first before you even think about putting it out there.
Exactly, because if I don't approve with it, why in the heck am I selling something that I don't approve of?
Right. How many whites do you have?
Right now, I have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4. I have 4 whites on the shelf now.
Okay.
One of them's that Gator Got Your Granny we talked about.
Gator Got Your Granny.
A pear wine that I've got that I actually grew the pears. It's pretty good.
Wow.
And then we've got our new Mullen Spice. You can see that.
Now, what is Mullen Spice?
Mullen Spice, this is our Christmas wine.
Okay.
I don't know if you've had that one yet.
I don't think I've tried that.
But it's got orange peel, clove, cinnamon, a little bit of everything in it.
Ooh,
I get a good following with it right now, so I'm trying to let everybody know we're here. We have a Christmas wine. Come get it.
Yeah, I mean, does it have like a clovey spice taste to it, like a cinnamon almost? Almost like if you go to an apple orchard, you get, what are you going to get? You're going to get a glass of orange juice, not juice, but cider. That cidery,
sort of like that.
Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. I got something. I got something to try later. I'm just saying. Now, how many reds do you have?
Now, on the red end, I've got 2, fixing to have a third one. And then I've got some rosés.
Okay.
One of them we call Afternoon Delight, and it's a blend of Chamberson and Norton again on the lighter end.
Right.
And we've got a pretty good following with it. It's a semi-sweet.
Yep.
And about every wine we've got, there's somebody out there find one that we have that they just love.
And then now I'm into the fruit sides, right? At the berry, because I think how many of those do you have?
Well, right now on the berry side, I've got 2. I've got we call it liquid pie, and it's our blueberry, and then the one that you like so well is berry fusion. And that's cranberries and blueberries combined.
Yeah, see, I like those two. Those two have become my favorite.
Mhm.
More of the berry than the blueberry. But the blueberry, I think when we were trying stuff,
Yeah.
I love the blueberry.
Mhm.
And then you made the mistake of giving me the berry, and I'm like, oh, okay.
No. Well, I worked it that way. I wanted you to try this one, but I knew where he was going, so you tried the blueberry.
And it's good. It's got there's no typically for me my worst experience with wines is always that back taste, that afterwards, and it's like no, that's just. But the berry and even the blueberry did not. So where is the vineyard located?
It's located in Crandall, Georgia, off Highway 2, just right inside of Murray County.
Okay, Murray. Okay,
Yeah.
so you go under 75 or by 75?
No, I stay on this side.
This side. Okay,
Yeah.
and then the winery is located where?
Oh, at 5 Legion Street, Ringo, Georgia, downtown. I mean, I can look out and see the fountain. I mean, I can see everything that goes on.
Right.
And I really like that.
Yeah.
And you talk about a peaceful town and stuff. And I mean, ever since I've been up here, I just love it.
It is a great little town.
Yeah.
I didn't think that, me and my wife were, contemplating where we're going to put studios at, stuff like that. And she goes, why Ringgold? And I'm like, I don't know. I just like the downtown.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's just, it's quaint,
Yeah.
and you could park in a parking lot and walk the whole town.
Oh, yes.
And then you can spend an afternoon, if not a whole day, if you're really, especially if you like stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff places,
Oh, yeah.
now. So,
well, you got boutiques. I'm hoping to get with all the boutique owners and stuff and maybe sit down and chew the fat just a little bit and say, hey, how can we work this out? I'm here now. You've got boutiques. You sell clothes. I think we can all work together.
Have a little bit of wine while the ladies are shopping.
Well, I hadn't brought this out yet because I hadn't met with them, but I'll go ahead and bring it out now. I was thinking, well, all these store owners, if they would get one bottle of wine from us, and I'll furnish the communion cups that they can let people try if their customers coming in, for free, and hopefully I'll get a sale, they'll get a sale. It just keeps everybody happy.
Yep.
Yeah. And that way you can go to different stores, try different wine for free.
Oh yeah. Almost make it like a world, like a passport thing. You go in and you get a little punch going, oh, I tried this one, I tried this one, I tried this one. And at the end of the day, they go back, that's the one I want to go get. Right? So that, it's that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So how big is the vineyard?
The vineyard right now, I've got 3 acres, probably planted in vines at the moment.
Wow.
But I've got room to do a couple more.
Wow.
But
that's nice.
Right now, what's there, it's one-man job, and
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. I mean, and I'm hoping later on I can get some help out there.
Yeah.
Right now, since we're just getting started, we've got to get more feet on the ground before that ever happens. So,
I understand that completely. Absolutely, completely. So, okay. Now, where can people find you online?
Oh, brokenhorseshoevineyard.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're trying to set it up where you can purchase online.
Really?
And hopefully ship throughout the United States. I'm going to set up an account with Vino Shippers, and they've got a license in 40 states, and we'll see from there. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I can go online and go, hey, I can sit up here and go, hey, I need to order some, and it'll get shipped to. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I can walk right down. I can stumble downstairs. No, actually, I walk down and stumble back up. That's probably the way it goes. And you're all over social media?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we've got a Broken Horseshoe Winery that we've just created because of the winery, and the vineyard, Broken Horseshoe Vineyard, is still up on Facebook, and we try to populate as much as we can on that, and we're hoping to have other things coming up in the near future, like that Emancipation wine.
Right.
We'll start
I can't wait to be at the opening for that one.
Oh, yeah, I think that's going to be cool, and talking about Ringo and stuff. I mean, look at today. Today's Veterans Day, and look at all the flags in this town. I just can't get over that. It's just amazing.
So that is what drew me to Ringgold. My family's been here for generations. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm like, you never go back. I'm not going back home. I never go back home, right? And then I came in the one time a couple of years ago, and I drove in, and there was flags everywhere.
Oh, yes.
And I'm like, what is going on? Did something, and I mean, there's the little white crosses and then the flags. And I don't mean they're just like, one every 10, 15 feet.
Mhm.
There's like one every 4 feet, 3 feet. I mean, they're just stacked
Oh yeah.
all the way out
Mhm.
to Alabama Highway, all the way up past the school, and all the way down under in 41. I mean, they're just everywhere. And I think that is absolutely phenomenal. So,
Oh yeah, and each one of them crosses and flags are for our veteran.
yeah, it's not this, they didn't just put them up.
No, they
There's
did not
actually
put 'em up.
names and in memory of,
Oh yeah.
which I think is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, because my father-in-law just passed away this year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Back in May, and we went, me and my wife, and got all that set up where he could have a flag. With the first year you pass, and you being a veteran or anything, they put you around City Hall.
Really?
Yeah, and then after that, they'll station you a place out amongst, could be Alabama Highway, could be anywhere where
Yeah.
all these flags are at. And I got out there and took pictures of it and sent my wife that I found it,
That is
and it was just so
phenomenal.
neat.
That is awesome. Great. It's a great little town. So what are your hours at the winery?
Right now, we're still trying to figure that out. I had to shut down Sunday and, of course, today, Monday, because, we're still new and I still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to.
I don't think I've come in here at all and not seen you guys doing something down
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, well, yesterday you didn't, because guess what I had to do all day yesterday?
What did you have to do? Did you have to taste wine?
No, unfortunately. Well, I did that evening. I'll take that back. But during the day, I had to get up early because I have 4 huge maples in front of my house, and all these leaves fell off. I was probably 8, 10 inches deep in leaves.
Wow.
So I spent most of my day getting that up and trying to mow.
Oh, I'm doing that this afternoon.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I
Well, I
there.
ain't done. I still got half of it. I got to
Yeah,
mow.
yeah.
So,
I got a mountain, a hill I got to go take care of. I'm like, oh, geez, I'll have some wine afterwards.
that's good.
So right now, but kind of Tuesday to Saturday
Mhm.
is where your guys are kind of
Yes, I'm
averaging.
playing with 8 to 12, maybe on weekends, even to 9. If people show up and you're here at 8, I ain't going nowhere. I'll
Right.
just stay open for you. Yeah.
Jeez, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
That is really good because most times it's
Well,
two
most
to
people push you out as quick as they can.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
2 to 10 or something like
Yeah.
that. So and then they're like, it's 10 o'clock, you got to go.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I've still just got to have. Nope, you got to go. Good luck. Get home. But I can't see the white lines. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so everybody can find you online. Everybody can find you on your website. You got to come, people. You got to come down here.
and see me in person.
Oh, he's a hoot down there, and he's got you got a great staff.
Yes, I do.
I have to say, I like every one of them. And yeah, if you come now, you get to see all the expansion and building and doing and the whole 9
Oh,
yards.
yes.
You even got a fire pit out front.
Oh, yeah. We're looking at expanding that too, because I think it'll be a good draw.
Yeah, the other night we were here late and we were leaving and you guys were also, I'm like, well, that does look comfy. So thanks for watching today. We appreciate it. Make sure you go see this young man and he'll get you some good wine. And if you're not a wine drinker, go see him first, because I think he will fix you, because he fixed me. We'll see everybody next week on Open for
Thanks for
Business.
having me.
You're welcome.